All right, parents, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I want to welcome all of you to our distance learning parent orientation for the upcoming 2020-21 school year. Before we get started, I do want to review some norms. So parents, please take notes and pay close attention. Please make sure that you mute your mic. Ask questions. You'll notice there's a little symbol here, a little icon for the chat box. We want you to ask questions. Throughout the presentation, I ask that you mute yourself, as we have a lot of parents in this session. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure that you enter them in our chat box. Mr. Manny Rodriguez, our community liaison, will be monitoring the questions and concerns in our chat box. And at the end of the presentation, I will do my very best to address every question, answer every question, and also address some concerns. If I don't get to your question, I promise you that I will get back to you. You can call me or send me an email, and I'll make sure to answer your question. Also, parents, we want to make sure that you take notes during the session. Like I said before in the beginning, I will be recording this presentation and parents will have access to it. Other norm is we want everyone to be respectful. I know that right now we are in a time period where it's very stressful for all of us, but we want to make sure that we remain respectful to one another. And also stay engaged. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information, so please make sure that you're taking notes and you stay engaged. Welcome back, leopards. Bienvenidos, that's in Spanish. And I've also been practicing my Vietnamese. Hopefully I say this correct, Chào mừng, which is welcome in Vietnamese. For those of you who have students, children in special education, we will be having a separate orientation, because I know there's a lot of questions and concerns regarding special education, on Tuesday, August 18th at 3 p.m. Okay, so once again, orientation for special ed will be next Tuesday, August 18th at 3 p.m. I will be sending an email, sending an call, and also posting this information on social media. So parents, right now, what I want you to do is take a quick second, actually not a second, a minute. And I want you to think to yourself, what is the number one thing that your child will need to be successful this school year? Once you have thought of that, go ahead and enter it in the chat box. So once again, parents, we want you to think about what is that one thing that your child is going to need to be successful during distance learning. I'll give you about 30 more seconds to enter that response in the chat. Okay, so we've got one, structure and motivation, absolutely. Organization. Supervision, structure, motivation, rules and structure, discipline, patience, absolutely. Parents, I agree with all of those, and that's exactly what we need from not just us, the school site, but also our parents. It's very important, more than ever, that our parents, our teachers, myself, our kids, we're all on the same page. I know how difficult, times have been. I'm a parent myself, but it's important more than ever that parents are involved, that parents are on top of their child's schooling, that parents are communicating with teachers, that parents are providing structure for the kids at home. We're going to need it. Okay, everything that you put in that chat box, you're right on point, and we're going to need that and more. But also, here on the screen, you will see Okay, give me 1 second. It looks like you guys cannot see my screen. Okay, I apologize for that. On your screen, you will see that the 3 most important school supplies for the new school year, this is the 3 things, besides the pencils, besides the paper, besides all those cool school materials that kids love to buy every single school year. This is what we need to be successful. Not just our kids, but all of us. We're gonna need, it's gonna require for us to have lots of patience. School, the teachers, the parents, the kids, things are not going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you right now, things are not going to be perfect because this is new to all of us. But please be patient with the school, be patient with yourself, but also be patient with your child. Flexibility. Like I mentioned before, we're all new to this. I'm new to this, you're new to this, our teachers are new to this, and our kids are new to this. You know, it's, I don't think we've ever, you know, been learning in front of a screen. It's difficult. It's even difficult for parents to be in front of a screen. So please be flexible. Like I said, things are not going to be perfect. Things may change, but we want you to be flexible and also have grace. Please have grace. Now, parents, a few weeks ago, Dr. Hansen emailed our parents. She sent actually several emails and newsletters. And in one of her newsletters, she added the 2020-21 Safety and Health-Driven School Reopening Plan. It's a plan that our district has been working on for several months now, and it's actually an excellent plan that we have in place to ensure the safety of our kids, to ensure that if we get to phase 2, meaning our kids get an opportunity to come back to school, we have precautions, we have safety measures to ensure the safety of not just our kids, but also everyone else here, our staff. Now, this is included in our school website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go click on this. And it takes you to the plan. The plan is about 22 pages long. They have it in English and Spanish. And I really want parents to really take the time to take a look at this. It's great literature. It really gives you detailed information in terms what we're going to be doing as a district, but also as a school site to ensure the safety of your child. I know as a parent myself, I ask a lot of questions at my child's school because I want to know that if by the time my kids go back to school, I want to know exactly what's going to be happening. This here will tell you exactly what our plan will be. And I'm not going to read over the entire thing, but I do want to cover a few things in this plan. I know a lot of one of the biggest questions I've been getting is by the time we get back to school, and let me back up a little bit. Right now, when we start school August 19th, which is next Wednesday, we are in phase 1, which means that 100% online. Now, if we meet the governor's criteria and we are off that watch list for 14 consecutive days, meaning that the number of cases for COVID decrease, we will be getting the green light to return to school. Now, in addition to that information that Dr. Hansen sent out, she also provided a link to a phase 2 survey, which I've been pushing out to our parents. It's very, very crucial that parents fill out that survey because based on those responses, it's going to help me plan accordingly for phase 2. Right now, I have a little over 250 families who have responded. We have over 800 families, so I expect to get 800 responses. So right now, per the results that I've been getting, it looks like 45% of the people who have responded want their children to remain on online learning. About 30% want to do in-seat instruction, and the remaining want to do a hybrid model, which is a combination of online and also in-person instruction. Now, as parents, something that you can do to help our school is really spread the word. I've provided links and videos on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on how to step-by-step how to access that phase 2 survey. It's important that we fill that out. Now, going back to the plan, a couple of things. If, by phase 2, we come back to school, it's going to be a requirement that, adults and the kids wear face masks, especially indoors. Here's an 8 steps to protect students and staff. These are the 8 steps. We're going to have wellness checkpoints, bus and parent pickup drop-off zones. If you're logging in, I ask that you please mute yourself. Thank you. Hand washing stations on campus, in addition to the sinks that we have. Social distancing in classrooms and site maps. Food service safety, sneeze guards and partitions, distancing signage, and also cleaning procedures. One of the things, for the point number 1, wellness checks, one of the things that as a parent, it's important for you to do is really monitor your children. Every single morning, at nighttime, before they go to bed, when they wake up, check to see if they have a fever. If it's 100.4 or higher, they need to stay home. But also look for other symptoms. If, rule of thumb is if they have a slight fever, if they're not feeling well, the best thing to do is probably keep them at home. We want to be very, very cautious. Also, when they're arriving to school, and you'll get more information at the beginning of the school year, but one of the things is we're going to have different points around campus where you can drop off kids, pick up kids. No longer are we going to be having a crowd of people in the front of the school looking for the kids, so we want to make sure that we're safe. And like I said, you will be getting more information in giving you the details on the entry, exit points, and other criteria for morning drop-off, afternoon drop-off. Afternoon pickup. Bus, parent drop-off, like I mentioned too. We have a few kids who do take the bus. But also parent drop-offs. I'm going to be giving you clear directions on what to do when you drop off your kids. No longer, fortunately, parents will no longer be able to drop off their kids to the classroom or go on campus. For the time being, we're not going to be able to have volunteers. We're going to have people from the outside who are non-essential workers. People that would help us in the past would not be allowed to be on campus. So we're really limiting the people who will be on campus during phase 2. Hand washing stations. So here you see a few pictures of what our district will be providing in addition to the sinks that we have in the bathrooms, boys and girls. We're going to have hand washing stations throughout the campus. Social distancing. That's another thing too. I always stress to the kids and to our parents, keep your social distance at minimum of 6 feet. Also in the classrooms, when they are in the classrooms, let's say, for example, I have a classroom with 30 kids, and when we come back, we're not going to have all 30 kids in the classroom. It's going to be a maximum of 20 kids in the classroom, 6 feet apart. Food service safety, that's something that we are working on. We have such a large school that during lunchtime, we have kids line up. And when they line up, they're going to have to be 6 feet apart. But also, as they're grabbing the lunch, no longer are they going to have the opportunity to pick and choose what they want. Now, food will be packaged for them, and they will be given to them. Sneeze guards and partitions. We're going to have those in the classrooms. We have those in the office. So I just got a shipment today of these partitions that will be going. Right now, we have them going in every single TK and kinder class. Distancing signage. Our district is working hard to make sure that we at every site, including our site, has signage to serve as a constant reminder of the do's and don'ts for our kids. Cleaning procedures, just like we do every single time. Every day, our concerns will be cleaning the classrooms, cleaning the bathrooms in the office, but not just cleaning, disinfecting. We'll be disinfecting every single classroom. We'll be disinfecting the bathrooms and the high traffic areas every single day. Instructional models, and I apologize, parents. I know I'm going a little fast, but this is available for all of you at our district website. Phase 1, like I mentioned, right now we're doing 100% distance learning. Phase 2, you have multiple options. We have the full day in-person instruction. We have the blended model with an AM and PM choice, which is a combination of online and in-seat instruction. And also we have the other option, which is 100% virtual learning. Our online learning, our distance learning, we adopted the orange slice. So this is what you as a parent should expect from our teachers when we are teaching your children. Our lessons will be student-centered. We will provide live instruction, innovative learning, culturally inclusive and equitable choices. These are some sample schedules that I'm going to go over later in our presentation. These are just samples that were provided by the district. And there's one thing that I do want to touch on before I go back to the presentation, and this is this piece here. It's a social emotional well-being. Okay, so I want you to take a quick second, just kind of look at this. I know it's a little small, but there's 5 areas here that we will be addressing as a school site. Actually, every school site in our district will be addressing this. And this is something that we will be incorporating into our school day every day. And it's that social emotional piece. Areas that we're going to be covering: self-awareness, social awareness, responsible decision-making, self-management, relationship skills. More than ever, especially now during this pandemic that we're going through, our kids, our families, our teachers, more than ever, we need to make sure that we're supporting our students' social emotional wellness. I know during the spring, we were kind of in crisis mode. It kind of just happened from one day to the other. And, we're very fortunate at Lamson to have such an excellent staff. We're blessed. Our kids are blessed. I'm blessed. We have an incredible group of teachers here that really, really work literally 24/7 to give our kids the best possible education. Was it perfect? Of course it wasn't perfect, but they did the best job possible for our kids. We had the summer. We've been through a lot of training. We've had a lot of conversations. We're ready. We're ready, and we want to make sure that we provide an excellent education for all your kids. And this is one of the areas that we're going to be focusing on a lot, is making sure that our kids are well, making sure that mentally they're prepared, because honestly, the foundation of learning, it really falls on the social emotional wellness of a child. If a child is not socially or mentally healthy, it's going to be very difficult for them to have academic success. So that's one of the things that we really want to stress and we really want to emphasize. Okay, I want to go back to my presentation. Okay, so parents, this is your guide for distance learning. Leopard. Okay, we are the Lamson Leopard. So thought it was, pretty cool idea, cute idea to use our mascot, the leopard, as an acronym for your guide for distance learning. Okay, I'm gonna start with the L. Okay, parents, where do I locate my teacher? All teachers have set up a virtual Google Classroom where students will need to log in on the first day of school, which will be next Wednesday, August 19th. So parents, during registration week, you're going to be getting, in addition to textbooks, in addition to you returning textbooks and getting a device if you don't have one, we're going to give you your teacher assignment card, which will tell you who your child's teacher will be for the upcoming school year. But also, as of tomorrow, you will have access on your parent portal, and that will tell you who the teacher will be for your child. But you're going to be getting a form that looks like this. Let's Get Connected. It gives you step-by-step directions on how to log in. Like I mentioned before, on the first day of school, all students will log in to Google Classroom. This here tells you exactly how to log in. If you have a Chromebook, it tells you how to do it. If you have an iPad, it tells you exactly what to do it. Here, there's other tips for this upcoming school year. Make sure that if you have a Facebook account, Instagram, Twitter, access to our website, go there. There's tons of information. I put a lot of stuff there. And other information, make sure that this is kind of like a cheat sheet. Write your teacher's email for your child, my email, phone numbers, etc. There's tons of great information here. If you need assistance with this, we're a phone call, email away. This is just another visual on how to locate your teacher. gives you step-by-step directions. You can, if you have a phone on you, you can take a picture of this. Like I said, you're going to have access to this video. There's the OUSD website. Click on that. Go to your child's dashboard. Their username and password will be the same as your child's device login information. It's the username is their lunch number, 6-digit lunch number. Password will be the initial for the first name and last name plus the 6-digit lunch number. You're going to go to the Google icon. You're going to open it. You're going to select, Google Classroom, which is that icon, step 5. Click on that, and you should have access to your teacher's classroom. Now, parents, even though we're going to have all kids log into Google Classroom on the first day of school, depending on the teacher, and they will notify you at back to school night, but also let your kids know, they may stay on Google Classroom, but there's a few teachers that may change their platform. I know last year we had a few teachers use Seesaw, especially in primary. So stay tuned for that information, and you should be getting that information at back to school night. E in Leopard, attendance matters every day. Attendance will be taken every day during distance learning. All students in TK through 5th must log on to their Google Classroom at the start of the day, first day. And we're going to be providing synchronous, which is live, and asynchronous instruction, which is it can come like a recorded lesson, and complete daily classwork. If a student logs in late, he or she will be marked tardy. If a student logs on after the instructional day is over, then he or she will be marked absent. Parents, it's not like the spring where they would check in multiple times throughout the day. No, it's not going to be that way anymore. Kids are going to be on a schedule now. So the best way to explain it is pretend they're coming to school in person. They're going to be on a schedule. That's going to be happening in online learning. And I'm going to go over the schedules right now. So kids are expected to log on about 8:10, and their day will end about 2:10. So that means that they're going to have to wake up early, take a shower, brush your teeth, get some breakfast, get dressed, because that's going to be one of our, I know a lot of kids were, logging in during the spring in their pajamas. No, we want kids to dress up as if they were going to school in person. We're going to be taking attendance. And yes, if kids are if their teachers, are going to be taking attendance in the morning. If they're late, they're going to be marked late. If they're absent, they're going to be marked absent. Also, kids who are there in the morning and then, they're in and out throughout the day, that's going to be a conversation with the teacher, but also for me, and that will be affecting your child's attendance and also affecting their grades. And as a parent, I know believe me, it's going to be very, very hard because a lot of us work, so there has to be a conversation that has to be held with the family in terms of how is this going to be done? How am I going to be holding my child accountable to make sure that they are waking up early, logging in on time, so they're not marked late or absent, and staying engaged throughout the day. Now, I'm going to go in more detail what that's going to look like. Okay, so the big thing here is attendance. Yes, we will be taking attendance. And yes, I'm going to be holding parents and students accountable for excessive absenteeism. This just does pretty much the steps of what happens. 3 absences, expect a phone call from the teacher or myself. If that continues, we're going to be having a virtual meeting with the parent and the students. If that continues, there's a strong possibility that you will be referred to the district office, just like we have in the past. The O in Leopard, we're going to be offering synchronous, like I said, live and asynchronous instruction and coaching support throughout the day. During our distance learning period, students will have access to their teachers during the instructional day, starting at 8:10 a.m. and ending at 2 p.m. daily. I know our TK and kindergartners, their day will be starting at about 8:20. And I'm going to just show you, I know our district provided schedules, sample schedules, but our team has been working very, very hard to provide our parents schedules. Now, this is TK through 5th grade. Let me minimize this really quickly. This is TK through 5th grade. Monday through Friday, except Wednesdays. This is our Wednesday schedule. Then we also have 4 combos. Combo classes are going to be a little bit different. This is our Monday through Friday schedule, except Wednesday, and this is our combo class Wednesday schedule. And I'll give you an example, parents. I'll do 5th grade, which is over here. Okay, so 5th grader. Okay, their day will start at 8:10 to 8:20. That's the morning welcome. They have to log in. Make sure they go to log into the Google Classroom, see what their days are going to go. From 8:20 to 9:20, they will be receiving ELA instruction. That means they have to be present in front of a computer, ready to go. Now, does it mean that teacher will be teaching for an entire hour? That means that the teacher may possibly provide a 15-minute live lesson. And for the remaining 45 minutes in that block, students may be working independently. Video must be on. Their mic can be muted, but teachers will go more detail during their back to school night, and teacher will be available to help students. That teacher will be available, but also during that the remaining 45 minutes after that 15-minute live instruction, teacher can pull small groups and work with groups separately to provide additional support. Break from 9:20 to 9:30. Computer's still on. Maybe they turn off their mic. Maybe they turn off their video. Go take a little bathroom break, have a little snack, come back at 9:30, because from 9:30 to 10:40, that's math. Again, teacher might from 9:30 to 9:45 do a 15-minute live lesson. The remaining 45 minutes, maybe teacher's pulling small groups. And like I said again, you will get more details regarding the schedule and what's going to be happening at back to school night. There's a break after that. After that, we have science, STEM, social studies, PE during between 10:40, 11:40. Lunch. Yes, that's the lunch time. So, just like they were in the classroom, kids during instruction shouldn't be eating or having cereal or having a bean and cheese burrito. No, they're learning, because their lunch will be from 11:40 to 12:20. And the reason why we have this is because we want to make sure that we get kids already built stamina, but get them accustomed to being on a schedule. So by the time we transition to phase 2, their mind, their body has already been trained to be on a schedule. We've been away from a schedule since March. So, and then we had summer break. So we got to really train our bodies, train our minds to get back to a routine. That means going to bed early. That means waking up early. No more late nights watching movies or playing video games. No, it's, you have school the next day at 8:10. So that means you got to go to bed early and wake up early. So you're ready to go at 8:10. So we have lunch, and then we have collaborative learning from 12:40 to 1:10 or 12:20 to 1:10. That's 5th grade. I'm sorry, it's a little messy because they have VAPA. But what happens during that block is that's just additional time to provide our kids support. Small groups. It's not free time. No, teachers will be working with kids, small groups for ELA or small groups for math. And then also at the very end of the day, kids, their day will end about 1:10, but from 1:10 to 2:10, our teachers will have a minimum of a 30-minute block for office hours. Now, those office hours can be a time where the teacher gives one-on-one help to the student, answers some of their questions, works with the group. Maybe the teacher has a concern. The parent has a concern or an issue that needs to be addressed. It can be addressed during office hours. Okay, so teachers will give more details about that during their back to school night. P. Now this goes back to what I mentioned earlier regarding the social emotional wellness. We're going to be providing and developing relationships, routines, and resilience at the core is at the core of distance learning. Additionally, we will be committed in supporting our students' social emotional wellness. In order for us to provide our students with a high quality education, our goal is to establish relationships with both students and parents, prepare daily routines for success, and teach resilience in a time of uncertainty. Parents, like I mentioned, in the beginning, it's important for us to build those relationships, have constant communication with the teachers, have a routine at home for your kids. Like I mentioned, going to bed early, waking up early, giving breakfast in the morning. Same thing with our teachers. We're going to be providing structure throughout the day. That's the reason why we have a schedule. Social emotional awareness, we're going to be providing lessons on social emotional awareness daily. We have a meeting on Monday, and one of the things that we're going to be talking about with our staff is spending the first 8 days of school, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the following week, and really spend lots of time of developing, getting to know our students, building stamina, building routines and procedures, and doing activities that are really going to strengthen that bond, that relationship with them. Building stamina is going to be that's going to be key as well. Like I said, we have our kids. They've been out of in-seat instruction for several months already. So I know it's going to be a challenge. I know it's going to be difficult for them to get back on a routine, but we need your help. And this is not going to be done just by us doing it. It's going to be a team effort, teachers and families working together. The A, all teachers will provide instructional support for all students via small group instruction during the content learning block and during the collaborative learning block. We're going to be providing live lessons, but the key piece to this during each block, ELA, mainly ELA and math block, is working with students in smaller groups, smaller settings. That's going to be done during the ELA math block, but also during that block at the end, which is the collaborative learning block. R in Leopard, our teachers will be ready to provide office hours for both students and parents on a daily basis. The D, grades will now be the real deal. Students will no longer earn a pass or a pass with distinction, just like we did during the spring. Traditional grades will be given to students during distance learning. So during the spring, as you probably saw in Perrin Porto, our little ones didn't get a number grade, and our upper graders didn't get a letter grade. And that was, all that happened at every single school site, and many districts, not just our school. But now we are going to be giving grades. So that's why it's crucial, parents, that we have them on a schedule. It's crucial that they're logging in, that they're completing their assignments, that you're checking your Perrin Portal, you're checking the areas, the grade book, you're communicating with the teachers, and that you're on top of it, because if kids are not, and of course we're going to be flexible with deadlines and flexible with assignments, but kids need to be logging in and completing their assignments, because if they're not communicating with the teachers, if they're just ignoring the assignments, not completing their assignments, and nothing's been communicated to the teachers, they're going to fail that assignment. And we don't want that. We want to be able to be flexible, work with the parents and work with the child. We know that things come up, but we're going to be flexible, but we also want to make sure that parents are communicating, because students will be receiving grades for their assignments. Lamson registration week. It's been happening this week. Today we finished second grade. Tomorrow will be third grade. So this was posted on social media. It was also emailed. Please make sure that you come on your assigned day. I know there's been a few parents who have not been able to make it, but we've been able to work on a makeup day. But we also going to have additional makeup dates on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. One of the things that I have asked in my all calls is if you were given a device, please bring it. We're not going to take it away. We just want to make sure that we reassign it to your child for this school year. If you have textbooks that you did not return last school year, make sure that you return them this year, so that way we have enough textbooks to distribute to our kids this year. You're also going to be giving textbooks and materials for the upcoming school year. Upper graders 4th and 5th will be getting agendas, and you're also going to be getting your child's teacher assignment card. Distance learning student expectations. This is what we expect from our students. As you know, parents, one of the behavior expectations that we have at school is pause. Leopards have pause. During distance learning, our LEPers are expected to use their paws, which is practice respect, accept responsibility, work hard, and safety matters. And this is what's expected of them. Under practice respect, we want our kids during distance learning to stay on task. They cannot be browsing other sites while they are online with the child's teacher. We want them to raise their hand or follow any protocol for raising their hand with the teacher and wait to be called on. We want them using kind words or typing kind words at all times. Under accept responsibility, always be ready for class, attend daily, and be punctual to class. They must be wearing clothes, fully clothed, no pajamas, or they just woke up and they go to class when in the clothing that they woke up in. No, we want them to get up, shower they have to, brush their teeth, comb their hair, put on their clothes as if they were going to school in person. Work hard, log in daily, complete all assignments and submit them on time. Be engaged, participate and ask questions. Be brave and turn on your camera. Safety matters. So this is, this one will require the help of the parents. We want our kids to set up a leopard learning space. So what's a leopard learning space? That can be a desk, that can be a flat surface, that can be the kitchen table. It's an area where they're going to be comfortable, where they have access to all the materials. We also want them to have all their materials organized and ready for class. Back to school night. Okay, that's Tuesday, August 25th. These are the times. I know there's parents that have multiple kids in different grade levels, so we want to make sure that we accommodate all families who have multiple kids. And this is going to be a virtual back to school night. Your teacher will be providing you a link to their virtual back to school night, and these are the times. Okay, this will be shared with their families, but if you have a phone or a camera, you can take a picture of this. Tech support. All of our kids should have a device. First through fifth graders should have a device. If they don't, you can get one during registration week. Kindergarten, Mr. Raywald's class, Mrs. Jones' class, and also Mrs. Cook's class, they will be given an iPad during their meet and greet, which will be next Tuesday. If you have any tech support, questions and answers after school office hours, here's a number and here's an email where you can get a hold of somebody from our district office that can provide support. Parents, we want you to stay connected. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and that's also our website at the very bottom. These are our lamps and office hours, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 p.m. Here's our office phone number. And if you need to email me, this is my email. I know I shared a lot of information, parents. Now this is an opportunity to address the questions that were in the chat box. So Manny, if you can please unmute yourself.
So can you hear me?
I can hear you, Manny. So we have about 15 minutes left. So go ahead and read out some of the questions so that way I can go ahead and answer them. And parents, we ask that, I'm sorry, Manny, we ask that you remain muted, please.
Go ahead, Manny. Parents ask, will electives be offered online?
Will electives be offered online?
Yes.
We are not offering electives at the elementary level. I know there's electives that are offered at the secondary level.
Where can they find the, Greenwald already put the link for the survey for the beginning of the year because a parent asked in regards of where can they find the link to the survey.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Raywald. I'm sorry, Ms. Greenwald. And then also, just to offer, just to piggyback on that, if you do have social media, YouTube, or you have Facebook or Instagram, I did post step-by-step video on how to access that phase 2 survey. Go ahead, Manny.
One of the questions was, what if parents are working during back to school? And Greenwald answered to them in regards that teachers are pretty much recording their meetings and they will be posting them on their Google Classroom or their platforms.
Yep. Thank you for that. And yes, the back to school night sessions, teachers will record them and they will be posted on the Google Classroom or other platform of their liking.
I have a parent that asked if they do stay home because they don't feel well, will they have an option to do online class work for the day so that it's not an absence?
So to answer that question, starting August 19th, right now we are currently in phase 1, which means that all students will be receiving 100% distance learning. That's online learning. Now, if maybe she was referring to phase 2. So phase 2, if we move on to phase 2, and per your survey, you said that you want your child to be here 100% of the time in person, or you want them to be getting a hybrid, which is a combination of online and in-person instruction. Yes, your child, if they were to get, let's say, the virus, or they are to be sick, we want them to stay home, but they will be also be getting access to the assignments online.
What time can I pick up a device tomorrow for third grade student?
So each day has been assigned to a grade level. Tomorrow's third grade, Monday is 4th, Tuesday is 5th. If your last name starts A through L, it's from 8 to 11. If your last name starts with M through Z, it's 12 through 3.
One of the parents asking the TK teacher, where would they be able to get that from?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Manny?
She wants to know who the teacher for her TK child will be because she hasn't gotten any updates.
Okay, our TK teacher is Mrs. Meyer. If you want more details, or you did not come on the assigned day for TK, you can call our office or stop by tomorrow morning.
Will there be any one-on-one with students in special ed, and when would they have a hard time working independently?
So like I mentioned in the beginning of our presentation, we're going to have a separate meeting for our special education students. That's going to be next Tuesday at 3 p.m. And all those questions regarding special education will be answered then.
Are parents expected to quit their jobs?
If parents have a concern regarding how to support our students, it's the best way to do that is give me a call, email me, or stop by the office so we can see how we can best support the parent.
If my child was,
hold on, I'm sorry, Manny. And like I said, it's not a decision that I made. It's not a decision that our district made. That's a decision that comes from the state. And we have to do the best possible job. And that's why it requires for us and our parents to really work together. I know it's hard. I'm a parent myself, and I have 3 kids at home, and my wife and I have to figure out a way to, how we're going to support our kids. It's a very difficult situation for all of us. And if it's a stressful situation, if you can't think of any solutions, or you need the support, I'm a phone call away. You can stop by, or you can email me. We're here to support you any way we can. Go ahead, Manny.
I submit the second phase survey now. If she changed her mind, can she resubmit the survey?
She can resubmit the survey because I'm still getting responses. So so the good thing about the survey is there's been families who have entered multiple responses. The responses are timestamped. So I will go off the last response based on the date and time of the response.
If my child was offered special classes like speech, will she still be offered that online?
Just to answer that very briefly, if you have a child who is in special education, they will still receive all the services that are indicated in their IEP. More detailed information will be provided at next Tuesday's orientation for SPED families at 3 p.m.
How can parents that have to work full-time ensure children are actually doing what they need to do and stay logged in? Like
I mentioned before, if that's, I know there's 2 questions regarding that. Parents, If you are a full-time working parent, what I recommend, and this is something that I've done, is have a conversation with your wife or your husband. We're going to be on a schedule. Kids are going to be required to log in. Have a conversation. How can we best support our kids to ensure that they're logging in? Who's going to be home to ensure that they're logging in to support them? If somehow you're not able to find a solution, or you're struggling through that conversation, or you just feel like you have no options, like I said, I'm here to support you. I'm here to help, and I'm here to brainstorm with you on ways we can best support you. It's not a perfect situation. I get that. It's not. It might be an inconvenient, difficult situation for many families. I understand that. But like I said, I'm here. I'm here in the mornings, in the afternoons. Let's have that conversation. I encourage you to stop by. I encourage you to give me a call. Go ahead, Manny.
And then where will I find the docs and information in email, or where?
Okay, so so if you want access to this presentation, I will be emailing the link to this presentation. It is recorded. I will be posting it on social media. Also, in terms of documents that we distribute during registration week, you're going to have to come in person to pick those up. Pick up textbooks, pick up any documents. If you want to know who your child's teacher will be, you can check your parent portal tomorrow. I believe it should be available after 4 p.m. That will tell you who your child's teacher will be, or during registration week on your assigned day, you will be getting a card that will tell you who your child's teacher will be. Now, if there's anything more specific that you need, I'll say it again, I'm a phone call away, email away.
And then the last one is, what did you recommend for parents of first graders who both work full-time 8 to 5?
Right. So, that's a similar. Give me 1 second. Manny?
Yes.
Okay. So that goes back to I know that question has been asked several times. So parents, I know it's difficult for everyone, but like I said, have that conversation with your spouse first. See what you can do to best support your kids, because students are going to be expected to be online during that block of time, starting at 8:10 all the way to 1:10 when the day ends. There's going to be times, doesn't mean that they're going to be in front of a screen watching the teacher teach. No, there's going to be opportunities where there's a 15-minute let's say, for example, a 15-minute live lesson, and then there's some time where they can work on stuff individually, but the computer still has to be on. Depending on the teacher, they might be able to turn off their video, or mute their mic, but also they have to have access to the device, so that way when it's time to come back as a class or as a group, they're able to do that. But more details will be provided at Back to School Night.
And we have 3 more that came in right now. Does Ms. Jones have a Google Classroom?
On the first day of school, every single teacher in our school will have a Google Classroom. When you come to Back to School Night, you will be given a form that tells you exactly how to log in to have access to the teacher's Google Classroom.
And then one of the other questions is the school open to accepting a volunteer that will host children that parents work? Of course, some screening, or the person must have a child that attends Lamson.
Unfortunately, we will not have volunteers who, I'm thinking they're saying like provide daycare or take care of kids. No, but if you go to our district website under CARES, I know that CARES will be providing daycare for our kids, but I believe it comes at a fee. If I'm not mistaken, it's about $175 a week. It's pretty expensive. That's an option.
And then, how long is a class for a kindergartner? That was the last question.
Like I mentioned, when you have I showed an example, but kindergarten, yes, they're gonna be logging in at 8:20 in the morning. Their day will end about 1:10 p.m. but their kindergarten teacher will provide more details of the schedule at Back to School Night, which will be I'm sorry, not next Tuesday, on the 25th, August 25th, on a Tuesday. Any more questions, Benny?
That's it.
Okay, parents. Well, I do want to take just a moment to really thank all of you who joined us. I know this is not the best situation for our families, but like I tell my staff, we have to really make the best out of the situation. We're going to make mistakes along the way, but one thing I do promise you is that we're going to work extremely hard to provide our kids the best possible education online, via online. Our teachers, we're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to have an incredible team of teachers who are very passionate, who work they work hard 24/7. Summers, we really didn't have a summer because we were planning, we were working, we're brainstorming, collaborating to see what's the best thing we can do and offer our kids. But it's gonna be a team effort. It's gonna require that families, the parents, the kids, and us work together. It's gonna require for us to have tons of communication. And like that, if you recall back to that first slide, we want you to be very, very patient with yourself, be very, very patient with your kids, and be patient with the school. And we also want you guys to be flexible. Please be flexible. We're doing our very, very best. Lamson, as well as every single school in California, is going through the same thing. So just know that we are not alone, because every school is doing this as well. But it's also going to require, it's going to be a community effort. As members of this community, we have to do our job. We have to make sure that when we're outside, we're wearing a mask, we're keeping our social distance, and we're really staying away from large crowds, because if we are able to reduce the number of COVID cases, and we're off that watch list for 14 consecutive days, then there's a possibility that we can return to in-person instruction. In order for us to do that, I need all families to complete that phase 2 survey. If you don't have access to that, send me an email or send a message on social media. I'll send you the link to that to that survey. But I need all parents to really respond, because that's going to help me plan for phase 2. So that way I know how many kids will remain online, how many kids want hybrid, and how many kids want the in-person instruction. It's very, very crucial that all families complete that. And I'm going to be bothering all the families, and I know I send a lot of all calls, but I'm going to be sending a lot of all calls and posting messages and emails until we get all 800 plus of our parents completing that survey. Can the children wear uniforms? Yes, we want our kids to be wearing uniforms. Just like I mentioned, this is regular school. So like as if they were in person coming here to school, they're expected to wear a uniform. We want them to treat the online learning as if it was a regular day at school. Manny, any other questions?
I think that was
okay. Well, parents, I thank you very much for your time. It is 5:59. I have to go at 6 p.m. I do have my other meeting for Spanish-speaking parents. So I thank you very much. If I did not answer your question, I truly apologize. You can send me an email, send me a message on social media, stop by, and I will be more than glad to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Please take care, and we're here for you. We're in this together. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.